All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is June 2nd, 2020. My name is Rainey, the mayor of the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill, and I'm accompanied with my partner, Andy Stewart, the city manager. Andy, thank you for taking time out of your day to be here once again.
How you doing, Mayor? It's a pleasure.
Doing wonderful. So I'm wearing my mask, and I'm only wearing my mask right now because I just came from outside hanging out down by the Peekskill Riverfront. And I got to tell you that the weather's getting nice. People are showing up. People are out there with their families. They're having picnics, and they're doing family things which encourages me and inspires me even more to practice social distancing and wear a mask. So I just wanted to start this off today with this mask just to show that we are setting an example by leading by example. And part of the reason that we're saving lives in our city, in our county, in our state, and of course in our nation across the world is from social distancing and wearing these masks. There are so many different design masks. The Bean Runner Cafe has been giving out so many beautiful design masks now. The city of Peekskill carries masks. So there's really no excuse not to wear a mask other than health-related issues. So I'm encouraging the people out there who are hanging out in the streets, who are hanging out at the riverfront, in the different parks, or just around family and friends in the outside area, in a public space, or going to the stores for shopping, please consider wearing your mask, of course, unless it involves health-related issues. It saves lives. And just as importantly, social distancing.
I mean, just to add to that, Mayor, because I think it's a really important message, is I feel like it's almost getting to the point where if you're on the street and you're not wearing a mask, you feel a little bit like you oughta, because so many people are, and it becomes a symbol of whether or not you take seriously the health of other people. And I know that when I walk out on the street and I'm walking my dog early in the morning and I know there's not that many people around, sometimes I don't bring the mask with me, but then sometimes I do because I don't want to get caught without one,
Exactly.
when my neighbor comes by or something. And I think we're at the point where it's become a kind of a social rule, and it's certainly helpful to role model that all the time as possible.
Without a doubt. And I have different color masks now. I'm starting to get to the point where masks are starting to match my shoes and shirts everywhere I go, suits and ties and everything. So it's important. But good news talking about that. The governor has been speaking a lot. The county executive has been speaking a lot. And the city of Peekskill is looking forward to the next phase of this. But we're looking towards preparing ourselves for reopening. We don't know exactly when the city is going to reopen completely. Of course, nobody does. But currently, the conversations of reopening have started. And to the businesses that are already open, they've been doing a lot of different things to create safety within their businesses. Some restaurants that I've been in, such as, I don't even want to say any names, but some places that I've been in, when you walk inside the store, they ask you to purchase your food before you come. So they give you, there's online options. They have cell phone application options where you can use the cell phone apps to purchase the food or purchase your order before you get there. So once you get there, once you arrive, your food will be ready. Some of the restaurants also have links that'll notify you when your food is ready. So you'll get a text message or you get a phone call or an email saying your food is ready for pickup, which is fantastic. And some of the stores that actually allow people to come in to pick up their food, they have tape set up on their actual floor when you walk in that separates people at least 7 feet from each other. So it's not just the 6 feet that's required, it's 7 feet to make it even more of a safety precaution. And they have the glass windows for the actual workers that work there to prevent anyone from being sick, sneezing. And most of the locations also require people when you walk inside to wear a mask.
And I think it's important to point out that these methods really do work. Yesterday in the city of Peekskill, the health department said there was approximately 60 active cases of COVID-19, and that's down from twice as many or 3 times as many a few weeks ago. So, but it's only down because people are actually practicing the hand washing, the mask wearing, the social distancing, staying home. And when you feel symptoms, obviously taking those precautions even more seriously. So it's nice to see those numbers coming down. It's nice you're talking about reopening, and we're seeing a lot of people coming out to the waterfront park. And I just want to mention the boat launch is open, and it's been busy. There's a lot of trailers down there. The kayak launch, the dock needs to be brought over, but people obviously could come down and put their kayak in. I've seen people out there on their paddle boards and other things, so it's great to see. and the city is a lively place. And then over the next few weeks, we're likely to see more businesses doing those sort of partial openings that the mayor is talking about. And our building inspector and our planning department, myself, Deputy Mayor Vivian McKenzie, and others, meeting regularly with the business community, making sure that as the businesses experiment with new ways of opening, that we're right there to help them along.
Right. And it's also important because I know somebody mentioned to me not too long ago about the outside dining options. In areas of Peekskill like Division Street, for example, outside dining is something that's just pretty much normal to us, especially during the summer months when the weather's nice. So, these are options and opportunities that the city can move forward with once there's a plan in place, because the last thing you want to do is reopen restaurants with an outside option and you end up getting crowded areas that help spread the wave or help spread the virus all over. We catch a second wave. So the fact that the conversations are being had now is a great thing. I just want to also share, especially when you said there's only 60 active. The city of Peekskill reached almost 1,000. We were up in the 900s, and to know that we only have 60 active, that is really showing that the numbers are down now, and that is showing for people who are just concerned: is this really working? Is social distancing in the city of Peekskill really working? Is wearing a mask really working? Is using sanitizer and carrying sanitizer everywhere I go really working? And avoiding public places? Yes, it's working. Numbers don't lie. But I want to share an experience I had just yesterday that is probably one of the most heart-touching, heartfelt experiences I've ever had in my entire life. And I was able to visit the Hudson River Healthcare, and I was also able to visit New York Presbyterian Hospital. And when I visited these places, I was able to speak to some of the workers and the staff and the doctors and nurses that work there. And the stories that they shared would make you cry if you listen to them. I mean, the experience of seeing the amount of people that were coming in with viruses, the amount of people who were coming in because they were scared, they were concerned, they didn't know if they had it, and the overwhelming amount of work that the nurses and doctors and staff all had to do at this hospital or at this healthcare center to make sure that the people were okay. The reason that it hit me so hard was not only that they dedicate and commit their lives to saving ours on a daily basis, whether or not we're out here listening to their advice, whether we're out here or not wearing masks or practicing social distancing or washing our hands or staying home if we're sick, or whether or not we're following these guidelines. They're there every single day to try to make sure that they save as many lives as they possibly can. And the thing that hit me the most about it is, as I spoke to the different nurses and doctors in almost each unit, the one thing that they all said on every unit was that they couldn't have done it without each other. Some of them said they had great relationships, they had great working relationships, but during this process of this pandemic and now, they feel like they're family. They rely on each other. They love each other. And I think that's important because there's two messages that's saving lives in the hospital that can save lives in our city. The first message is working together, being on the same page. We have to be together in order to make this work. We have to be on the same page as often as possible in order to make this work. Social distancing is being on the same page. Wearing a mask if you can, unless, of course, health-related issues require you not to. It is being on the same page. And the other thing that really, really, really made me feel happy was the fact that their communication with each other, their consistent communication with each other. As much information is being shared on different platforms of social media, factual information is the most important, and knowing where to get it, which is why we continuously encourage the people in this community. If for any reason you can't check these videos out every week when we post them up, feel free to check out the government channel. Feel free to look at our social media page and our City of Peekskill website. We also had a meeting a few weeks ago in English and in Spanish with the Hudson River Healthcare to give people some more factual information on how the caregivers in the community and the caregivers throughout the entire state are dealing with this pandemic and what they're doing and what you can do to support and help. So I encourage you all, stick together, get through this as a community, and communicate with one another.
I mean, just on that, Mayor, a couple things to mention. One is that on our regular Thursday morning panel calls, we'll have HRH on there.
This week, okay, yeah.
Yep, the Reverend Jeanette Phillips, Ben Bolton, And they provide some really helpful updates on the healthcare situation, and people actually ask questions about
Hmm.
access to healthcare, when they can come in, what services are available, questions about antibody testing and different kinds
Right.
of testing and their role in terms of how you protect your health and think about your family. So that's, and of course, one of the best examples of people coming together is the food pantries that
Oh
have
yes.
been operating for a long time. Of course, Fred's Pantry, but also the new ones. And for example, just today, the Rotary Club, Mansers Landscaping, volunteers came together once again on a Tuesday to distribute food right out from in front of the library. It's great to see that kind of unity and sort of unified vision of trying to get as much free food out to the community, families that really need it. This Friday, I think, is the West Cop one, right, Mayor? I know
Yes.
you're directly involved in that one in the Youth Bureau parking lot.
Yes, yes, yeah. We've collaborated with the West Cop organization, as well as the Youth Bureau of the City of Peekskill, collectively with the Peekskill Hispanic Corporation as well. This Friday at 1:30, and we've distributed usually about 3,000 pounds of food, three to 4,000 pounds of food every Friday afternoon.
It's really remarkable that the literally tons of food have
Yeah,
been brought in through the
distributed.
city's coordination with Feeding Westchester, which in Elmsford is providing surplus food across the whole Westchester area. And
Hmm.
yeah, no, it's just a really important project.
And
Um,
Feeding Westchester has been a great partner to the city of Peekskill. And then Councilman Fernandez said it recently. There's so many different options now with the amount of people that have come together to do food distributions that it's almost hard to not catch one. It's almost hard to not catch one. Which brings me to another point. Speaking of the food distribution, and speaking of the preparing the plan for reopening, the farmers market will be open this Saturday, June 6th. June 6th, 2020. There's an early bird special for our seniors, especially in the morning. I believe from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
yeah,
So
seniors only, right?
seniors only. They're welcome to come to the farmers market at 8 to 9, and we're going to do our first ever social distancing ribbon cutting for the farmers market. So I want to say congratulations to the bid for finding a way to make this work, as they've done every single year, despite the challenges. And I encourage the people of Peekskill to come out and just prepare yourselves, because it's not going to be the normal farmers market that we're used to. It's going to be the social distancing, mask wearing, safe, caring farmers market that we have to prepare ourselves to be used to. So come on out. It'll be open Saturday afternoon, I believe from about 9 to 2 for the public, 8 to 9 for seniors only. So please come on out in the same location on Bank Street.
And the ribbon cutting is at 10:30, and Bill Powers and Brian Fassett and others from the Business Improvement District are saying it's going to be the longest ribbon anybody's ever seen, because it has to have room for everybody, and everybody's got to
Very
be at
much
least 6
so.
feet
I
apart.
can't wait to see that.
So it's going to be, if for no other reason, come see the longest ribbon cutting that has ever taken place anywhere around.
Peekskill's first to do it. Look at us. We prioritize this pot of gold. So, and last but not least, there's two things I want to mention. One, the Hudson Valley Chamber, their annual award, breakfast award for the high school students, scholarship is tomorrow, and Samantha Saka is the winner from the city of Peekskill High School. So congratulations to Samantha. We wish you nothing but continued success. Looking at her resume now is beyond impressive, and she's still in high school. So I see nothing but success in her future. And thanks again to the Hudson Valley Chamber for recognizing all of the children that they're going to be recognizing for this event. And I wanted to touch on this past weekend, as many of you may or may not know, there was a few rallies held in the city of Peekskill following the death of George Floyd. And there's been rallies pretty much all across the nation since this situation. And the rallies that were held in Peekskill were all a success. And it made me proud. It made the council proud. It made, city manager, it made our community proud, period, to show that this is how you come together on issues such as this one, which is a very emotional topic. But we showed why Peekskill is Peekskill. This Saturday, the city of Peekskill as the elected officials, we want to join the movement of unity. We want to join the movement of protesting. We want to join the movement of unifying our community versus these challenges. And we're hosting our rally as well. So this Saturday, June 6th at 3:30 p.m. If you are available and you're watching this video, please join us at the Pew Park, 1 Robin Drive at 3:30 p.m. right on the football field closest to the pool. A lot of elected officials are going to be there. A lot of community activists and community members are going to be there, members of the school board, not only from Peekskill, but all over Westchester. We've been getting notifications of people who are confirming that they're going to attend from all over Westchester and different areas of New York. And this is going to be just a way to show our demonstration of our community, our police, and the unified relationship that we have here in the city of Peekskill, and come up with solutions to make sure that these type of incidents no longer happen, but especially not here at home.
Yeah, it's very well taken, and your leadership on that, Mayor, is very much appreciated. The event on last weekend in front of the library was really wonderful, and I know I was there with my wife and my daughter and her girlfriend, and a lot of people were there. You know, it was great to see, and the police did a nice job. Everybody came together, and really, what is a wonderful public space there in front of City Hall and the library.
Yeah.
I look forward to this weekend, and especially in contrast to some of the events down in New York City with broken windows and so on. We really want to keep the focus on supporting people and listening to each other, and really kind of contributing to a healing process. And
Right.
you know, the George Floyd situation is just horrifying to virtually everybody. Our police chief put a remarkable statement out on social media talking about what it felt like as a police chief and a police officer to see something like that. And you know, this has been a hard time for a lot of families economically during this time, and just acknowledge the community has been under a lot of pressure, and these kinds of events can really help people to come together.
Certainly, especially when they see everyone is on the same page. You know, whether you're on this side of the field or that side of the field, whatever your political relation is, or elected official, police officer, community activist, members, everybody's on the same page for this one. So this is going to be amazing. So, but with that being said, even at this rally, we're going to practice our social distancing. We're encouraging people to wear masks. I'm going to have a good box or two full of masks for people who may come in not have any. I'm going to have sanitizer as well. I'm going to ask people to keep their distance as much as possible. We will have a loudspeaker, so you'll be able to hear everyone who's speaking when they speak. Children, adults, seniors, whoever is actually out there and able to attend, you will be able to certainly watch and hear. And for those of you who can't make it for whatever reasons, we don't want to sacrifice anybody's health, you will be able to watch the rally later on in the afternoon, soon after the actual rally is done. So that being said, I just want to encourage people to please be mindful. Any information that you need on what the city is doing, our reopening process, or what our stakeholders are doing in the community, or just what the city of Peekskill is doing to address some of the concerns during this pandemic, don't forget, check out the city website, cityofpeekskill.com, the social media page, and our government channel. The reopening will answer all of the questions. I know people are having questions on parking permits and permits for different activities and events in the riverfront or the Pew Park and other places like that. As we slowly reopen, all of this information will be released. As of right now, the pool will be closed for the summer, and parks and recreational programming has been suspended for the summer. If this changes, because anything can change with the direction that this has been going in, if this changes, the information will be updated on the city website, or of course on one of our weekly phone calls.